You're listening to KCRW. This is Morning Edition. The LA City Council has approved an ordinance that would ban landlords and property owners from harassing tenants. The vote yesterday was 13-0 with 2 members absent. The ordinance still needs to be approved by Mayor Garcetti. If he signs off on it, the measure would prevent landlords from employing a wide range of tactics against tenants, from eliminating services to withholding repairs. Joining us now to discuss this is LA City Council member Gil Cedillo, who represents District 1, which stretches from Koreatown and Pico Union to Mount Washington and Glassell Park. Good morning, Council member.
Good morning, and thank you for paying attention to this important matter.
Well, we're glad to have you on the air. Can you fill us in a bit more? What types of behavior or harassment would be banned under this ordinance?
First of all, let me say that for the most part in the city of Los Angeles, most landlords and tenants live together with great civility and work all their matters out. So we're talking about a small percent, a very small percent, that I've witnessed and that we've seen in cases that have been sent to our office where people are just abusive, where people are employing tactics that that they're just really abusive, and they do things repetitively. Some of the things may be legal initially, but then the repetition of them make them illegal. Some of them is, we've seen extreme cases where people turn off the water. We've seen cases where people are simply just, ever present and don't allow people to enjoy their place where they live. And so we've seen other cases where they'll try bullying tactics or coercive tactics like, keep threatening people and then keep sending them notices and then, make offers to them, like financial offers. And this puts a really undue burden and stress on tenants, particularly at this moment as we emerge from COVID. We had the whole nation, the whole world suffering through a major disruption in their lives and the economy of the world. And there are some people, unfortunately, who are trying to exploit these circumstances. And the city finds this unacceptable, and we're very proud of what we've done in joining other cities like Santa Monica, Oakland, West Hollywood, with very strong anti-tenant harassment ordinances.
Have you heard from constituents of specific stories, where they say, "Look, this happened to me, and I felt I had no recourse"?
Yes, we've got a couple cases. Had friends who are, people who are personally resourced, who are intelligent, who understand all the rules and laws, and yet the mere constant presence of a landlord knocking on the door every morning, continuing to disrupt their ability to enjoy where they live, is a real form of harassment. I find this personally, a lot of cases, it's women who seem to be the target. There's a case that we have in my district of Leila Foss, where really tragic case. It's been in the news. Her dad got cancer. She came home to help her dad. He had stopped paying his bills. Their home of over 20 years with all its equity was sold from them, beneath them. And then the person who bought it, who had a legal right to buy it, but he does not have a legal right to come to their home every day and harass them, to turn off their water, to continue to tell them that he's going to get rid of them. That is not permissible, and this new law is very clear on that point.
Under the ordinance, landlords could not refuse rent payments. Why would they want to do that?
They want to do that because then they want to evict the tenants. It's a really hot market. The city has a long way to go in building tens of thousands of units of housing of all types of market rate and workforce of affordable. And so this incredible housing shortage is what makes Los Angeles and California a very expensive place to live. And some of these owners want to exploit that situation, so they'll refuse the rent and try to get rid of the tenant so that they can then raise it to a much higher level.
My understanding is that the ordinance prevents landlords from removing parking. doesn't that limit what they can do with their property, say if they're trying to add another unit and increase housing?
Yes, it does. And this is a situation where they can remove parking. Let's say they had to, make a change in the design of the building. They could do that. What they can't do is do it as a means or mechanism to evict the tenant. So, yes, everybody has property rights, but also there's restrictions on everybody's property rights. That's why you have to get permits to do things. It's not something new or, it's nothing that offends the Constitution. It is something that is the way that we live. We live as a community of people, not just individuals pushing forward their own rights.
LA City Council member Gil Cedillo, thanks so much for joining us. Good to have you here.
Thank you so much.
You're listening to Morning Edition on KCRW.